Hi everyone, and welcome back to day 10 of Christmas in September. We're 1/3 there. Today we're starting the next set of cards, and for these cards I'm going to be using, again, it's not a Christmas set. It is the Jar of Love set, and it has a coordinating framelits called Everyday Jars. And this is one of my favorite sets. I say that all the time. I have so many favorites. But you can do so much with this. And you'll see in the next 3 days, we're going to be making 3 Christmas cards using this set. Now, I know it's really a stretch to say that this is being made with that, when I'm also using a real Christmas set, which is the Carols of Christmas here, with its coordinating dies. But you could put anything in this jar. You could really pump it up and you could put M&Ms in there. You could do just snow in there with a snowflake. So you can do so much with this jar. So that's why I'm decided to have this series be all about the Jar of Love. So what we need here is I used early espresso. I was actually going for soft suede to match my little reindeer here, but before I knew it, I had early espresso in my hands, and I actually kind of like the way it looked. So it's early espresso, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. A piece of soft sky, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Then we have a piece of whisper white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a tiny scrap of glitter paper, silver glitter. I have a tiny scrap of soft suede, and I have a scrap of whisper white. For ink, we need Versamark, because we'll be doing some embossing, and some basic black. We also need silver embossing powder to make the silver top to the jar. And then this ribbon was in, I think it was last year's Christmas catalog, and it's glitter ribbon, and it's in Pool Party. Now this is soft suede, this is soft sky, and this is Pool Party, but I still think the two of them look great together. Oh, and we're also going to need some soft sky. So the first thing we're going to do is make our background. Now, a couple days ago, I couldn't place my hands on my woodland embossing folder, and I wanted to show you how I had made this background for a different card. Well, lo and behold, as soon as I turned off the camera, I found it. So now I'm going to show you how you do this. So here is the embossing folder, and you'll notice that one side says Sizzix. Say that fast 10 times. With my soft sky ink, I'm just going to run that along here. Doesn't have to be perfect, because that's not the look you're going for. Now I'm going to take my white piece of paper, and I'm going to place it on my embossing folder, and I'm going to go run this through the Big Shot. I'll be right back. Okay, and when you open up your embossing folder, this is what you get. Isn't that beautiful? It's a great, great technique. Now, I've used soft sky, so this isn't really dark. If you've used something like black or a bright, real red or something, you would probably want to get that washed off sooner rather than later. But I'll be okay with just that. So now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to attach it to my soft sky paper. And there is just a tiny border on this. Now I'm going to take my ribbon. I know I'm doing it, I'm finishing it before I started. I'm going to take my ribbon, and I'm going to tie a bow down towards the bottom. I love this little shimmery ribbon. It's so pretty. And believe it or not, I got it last year, and I It's the first time I used it. That's why I have so much retired ribbon. I don't use it before it retires. Okay, and there we go. I'm just going to cut this so that it's even with the other one. And now I'm going to attach this to my card base. Alright, and now I'm going to put this aside. Now I'm going to do all my stamping. And these are photopolymer stamps, so I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat and my little scrap of white here. I'm going to first with basic black, I'm going to stamp up the jar. I'm going to fit that right here. Okay, and while I'm stamping, I'm going to emboss the cover of my jar. So with Versamark, I'm going to stamp up the cover. I'll just drop that right there. Bring in a piece of scrap paper to catch my powder. Now I'm going to emboss my lid. The silver just looks so pretty when the embossing starts. And the lid, the details on the lid are so realistic. They really look like a mason jar lid. Stampin' Up's artist did a great job at that one. Okay, so I'm going to set that here. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to die cut. I'm going to take everything over and die cut. I'm going to die cut my lid. Then when I die cut my jar, there is this, so many people thought this was a Coke can when it was in the, when the Jar of Love came out. And this actually fits right inside here. And that's how you cut out the center of this jar. You could decorate that as a Coke can, but that's not what it is. It is, it goes right here, okay? And while I'm at the machine, I'm going to cut out my little deer in soft suede, and I'm going to cut out my tree in this glimmer paper. I'm going to go over to the machine. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with all my cut pieces, and I realized I forgot to tell you that from the jar, just the jar outline, not the inside, I had to cut out a piece of a window sheet to make the glass part of our jar. I'm so sorry I forgot to tell you that. So now I'm going to put everything together. The first thing I'm going to do is with a glue pen attach my window sheet to my jar. And it fits perfectly. Now, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. On my card, I'm going to see where I want my tree, right in the middle, and I'm going to put my tree in, right about here. Then I'm going to add, then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of my reindeer. And I'm going to offset him just a little bit on the tree. Okay. Now, I have to attach this jar. The way I'm going to do that is using these great strips. These are called foam adhesive strips. These came out, I think, last year or the year before. And one sheet is more than you need here. Now, because I'm putting some flakes in mine, I have to seal it so the flakes don't come out. If you weren't putting anything that would come out, you could just pop dot these along the sides. But because I'm using, I'm closing mine up and using it as a snow globe, I'm going to close off everything. Now, I'm not going to come all the way up to the top here. I'm just going to come right about above that first opening. And this twists. So I'm going to come around. When I get to the end here, I'm just going to break it off. Or I could have cut it off. And now I'm just going to peel this backing away. Before I put it on my card, though, I'm going to take just a pinch of snow. Stampin' Up! Sold this last year in the catalog, the holiday catalog, but they don't have it this year. You can pick this up at any craft store. All you need is a little pinch. Scooch it in a little bit. And now we're going to take our jar, which is nice and sticky, and we're going to place that over our seam. And there we go. We have snow in our jar. Now we need to attach our cap, and that I'm just going to put on with a little bit of snail. No, I have my fast fuse here today. And just place that right there. And there we go. Cute little snow globe with a reindeer and a shimmery tree. I did not put a sentiment on this because I'm not quite sure who's getting it yet. If I want to put Merry Christmas or Happy New Year or Season's Greetings or whatever I'm going to use it for. So whatever I'm going to do, the little inside that came out of there, I'll probably just stamp something from the Teeny Tiny Wishes and attach it to my jar or just tuck it in somewhere. So don't throw that piece away because that will come in handy when you decide where you're going to put your sentiment. So that's day one of Jar of Love stamp set for Christmas cards. So come back tomorrow and we'll have another one using the same set. If you have any questions about this project or any of the products I've used, contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. There's a tab to contact me, a tab to subscribe to my newsletter, as well as a tab to shop in my store. But if you do have any questions, I'm always happy to help, so make sure you contact me. Thanks so much. I'll see you back here tomorrow.